If you are thinking about having an LLC, you will need to have an address. And you don't want to have your home address. You don't want to have let's say an address and a brick and mortar office space if you can't afford it. So a virtual address is a great opportunity for you to still lend credibility to your LLC while also protecting your privacy. So let's talk into this conversation about how to get a virtual address for your LLC. So here is an overview I really want you to think about, boss. Why do you need a business address for your LLC in the first place? Well, for a constellation of reasons, okay? Your LLC needs to communicate with a lot of people, right? Customers, vendors, clients, regulators. And your business address tells your customers, vendors, and clients and regulators where you are so that the business owner, you can use it for things like communicating with your customers via mail, for example, for receiving your business mail, for filing for legal papers like your licenses, permits, contracts, and whatnot, for getting listed on Google and other search engines as your business appears in searches made by people in your area. This is called Google My Business. You can use it for receiving mail from your clients and customers, opening bank accounts for your business, registering a business domain name, opening accounts with your vendors and suppliers. Okay. And so the bottom line here is that a lot of experts in this industry, including accountants and attorneys, they would not recommend using your home address when you need an address for your LLC. Don't use your home address, boss. Not only for privacy purposes, but also you need to divorce your personal affairs from your business's affairs. This is really important. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. Really appreciate having you here. We love to have this sort of conversations every now and then. Okay. And so make yourself comfortable. And one thing that you need to really understand here is that when we talk about virtual address for your LLC, there is a complementary sort of topic, which is a virtual mailbox for your LLC. What you will realize is that a lot of those players that provide a virtual address, they also provide an ancillary, a secondary, or a related sort of service, which is a virtual mailbox. Okay. It's really important to understand that virtual mailboxes are one of the best ways to digitize your mail without giving up a physical address. Okay. Thousands of businesses and travelers use the service to streamline their mail delivery, reduce junk mail, and receive uninterrupted mail service from anywhere. So let me give you the steps you need to follow today, right now, boss, if you want to actually set up your virtual address for your LLC. This is really important. The first thing I want you to do here is to find the right provider. Now, the thing is, there are a lot of virtual address providers to choose from. Be very careful here, not only in terms of pricing, but also in terms of their services. If they're trying to confuse you, they need to have a clear service sheet. They need to have a clear pricing sheet. Don't let them try to confuse the hell out of you. We always insist on that because some of the players in this industry, they think they're better. They like to play games, trying to give you a description sheet that is not really clear enough. You want clarity. You want granularity. Those are the two things I want you to have. Clarity and granularity. Details really matter. Okay. Think about whether or not the provider has good customer service. Can you easily cancel or change your account? What are their online ratings or review? Can you trust them with time-sensitive email or mail? How do you keep your mail and online information secure? Are they recommended by a friend or business associate? Okay, find the right provider. Number 2, you need to select your physical mailing address. Okay, the physical location of your virtual mailbox can be a significant factor when deciding between providers. If you are selecting an address for a company, you want to choose one in the appropriate state and city where your business is incorporated. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm having a conversation with you about how to find a virtual address for your LLC. Okay, and you need to pick a plan and also think about any add-on services that you would like to have. For example, mail receiving, mail scanning, mail storage, domestic or international mail forwarding, for example, okay, mail shredding and disposal, package receiving, package storage, package forwarding, electronic check deposits, okay? So those are really important things that may or may not be important to you, okay? And you want to pay for your plan. Pay only for stuff that you need, okay? Pay incrementally. Don't pay for all those big ass packages that are trying to confuse you, and they just throw in there a lot of things that you don't, some of which you don't need. ask for a way to pay for things incrementally. As you grow, as your business grows and scales, you can add more. One thing you need to do, you also need to complete U.S. Postal Form 1583. 1583 is quite essential. It's really quite essential. You know why? Because the USPS requires all commercial mail receiving agents, such as the PO boxes and virtual mailbox providers, to complete certain requirements. So you'll need to fill out, notarize, and submit U.S. Postal Form 1583 before a CMRA can receive mail on your behalf. You'll also need to submit 2 forms of identification. While you may be able to download and fill out this form online, you will need additional time to notarize the documents, okay? So if you are looking for an inexpensive notary in your area, many local banks offer free notary services even for non-customers, okay? So this is really important. And so then you need to start receiving, managing, and forwarding your mail. So after setting up your virtual mailbox, I want you to familiarize yourself with the online system and features. Whoever you pick, iPostal One, virtual mailbox, whatever, anytime mailbox, whatever you pick, make sure that you actually check out their user portal, right? Where you can log in from any device with internet access. So when you receive mail, they will scan the outside and send you a notification. You will have the option to open it, read it, shred it, or forward it. For packages larger than the standard envelope or postcard, you often have the option to store it or forward it to your current location. So you always have options, okay? So think about that. Think about the flexibility. I want you to think about the options that you have with the service that you actually choose. Now, I want to give you a few tips to improve your virtual mailbox experience. Avoid reaching mail limits by opting for paperless billing and account records with your banks, insurance providers, and critical accounts. Select your virtual mailbox address carefully. Businesses should take extra caution, as selecting the wrong state or county could have negative tax implications. I want you to check your personal and professional network for virtual mailbox provider recommendations. In other words, ask people around you. Don't just work, like you can watch a show like this. This is fine. Yes. But this should be a first step in a long process for you to make a decision. Okay. And you want to ask, because if folks in your industry are used to a specific service provider, maybe you might actually be better off going with them too, as opposed to going with somebody else. Okay. Ask questions. Now, let me give you the approach that you really need to think about. And there has been a question that some of our viewers are asking, and it's all around, can I use my home address for LLC? That's a great question. I've already answered, but I want to answer a little bit with granularity. Like, I want to dig a little deeper. Now, you can use your home address for LLC. Yes, there's nothing against such use in the books. Okay, it's not illegal. It is, it really depends. But based on our experience doing these things for the last 30 years, more than 30 years, I'm telling you here that you should not use your home address for LLC. The law allows it, but we're telling you, based on our experience, you don't want to use it. Okay, boss, I'll tell you why. But before I tell you why, let me just quickly remind you of the topic we're discussing today. I'm explaining to you how to get a virtual address for your LLC. Now, let me just tell you why. The first and most important reason is privacy. So most small business owners like you agree that putting your home address and documents online is not good for obvious privacy concerns. There are also safety concerns, and you don't want some angry customers yelling at your ass at your home with your kids upstairs or downstairs, eavesdropping on the whole situation, do you? So you don't want that. It's not professional. Banks, merchant services, and vendors are generally unwilling to accept a residential address as the business address of your LLC company. Okay. Some states require a business address. Some cities and states require professional address, and some laws against offices in urban areas, which probably where your home is located. So you might not be able to use it at all when it comes to using the place, your residence, as a business mailing address. Okay. So also you want to think about foot traffic and security. Now, you probably will be thinking, what is he talking about? Well, and this might not sound as important to you. But we need to talk about it. A mailing address is used to receive your packages, and some of these packages might be very expensive and important. Okay. Now, I can't just leave you on the note that it's a bad idea to use your residential address as a business mailing address without making the picture clear. If you use your home address to receive packages, you risk getting them snapped by package thieves. Yes, there are. This is it's for real. There are package thieves in this world. I don't care where you live. Let me give you a bonus here. How do you get a virtual address for your LLC formation? Okay. And this is really important because you can get the thing is you can get a virtual office, a virtual address for your LLC before formation, after formation. It really doesn't matter. Okay. Anytime you want. But how do you do it for like if you are trying to form an LLC and you can get the virtual address at the same time? Well, pick a service provider that actually offers those two. For example, you have Inc. Inc. does that. You have other players. You have Northwest Registered Agent. Okay, so you have a player that actually offers both. It's really important to understand that getting a virtual address or office address for your LLC formation and registration is effortless and straightforward. Okay, you may need an extra document or two if you are from other places than the U.S., but the process remains remarkably similar worldwide. So you have to claim your physical address, your physical street address at one of the virtual address providers. You need to pick the right plan that fits your business needs. You need to complete your U.S. Postal Form 1583. You need to complete a change of address with the USPS. For LLC registration, you will need to apply for federal tax identification number. So that's your EIN. You need to use your new virtual address on your articles of organization. Okay, so this is really important. Now, there might be other steps that are involved depending on the state you are actually organizing your LLC in, because LLC formation is a state affair. It's not a federal affair. Okay, and it's really important to understand that, after you've done all this, the virtual business address for your LLC should be set up and running, should be up and running in a short period. Okay, within 24 hours or 48 hours. Really doesn't take long. Okay, it's really important to understand that you have to actually find the right plan for your LLC, and it's really important. I want to quickly talk about Form 1583. This form is really important. For U.S.-based virtual business addresses, the U.S. Postal Service requires you to file a notarized. It has to be notarized. Okay, notarized form 1583. Along with 2 forms of ID, okay? And the post office requires you to file this form to receive your business mail. It's really important. One thing also, let me give you a few pro tips before we actually close to this conversation. Can you use a PO box as a business address? Because we have heard in the course of preparing for this show, some viewers are thinking that you can use a PO box. Now, one thing you need to really understand here is that a PO box is a uniquely addressable locked box located in your post office, okay, or in a place that belongs to it. Each PO box has a unique number assigned to a specific person or organization. Getting a PO box for LLC comes with plenty of benefits and mailbox services that make them very appealing to small businesses. So you have flexibility, you have security, you have convenience, you have choice, right? So those are great pros when it comes to PO boxes. However, there are also some cons that you need to be aware of. You have to go and pick it up yourself. You have to go and pick up your mail because the PO box is not located where you live. You have to go to the post office or another designated facility in your area. And a PO box does not carry the same professional image a real business address has. The same state limitations discussed earlier can apply here. You cannot receive any packages from third-party couriers like FedEx and USPS, or not USPS, UPS. Banks do not accept PO box addresses as a business, as legitimate business addresses. Individual government institutions do not accept PO box addresses as your business address in their paperwork. So you need to think about, you need to actually strike the right balance between all the pros I gave you, flexibility, security, convenience, and choice, against the cons that I just gave you also. Okay. So the bottom line here is that if you are still thinking about whether or not you should go with the P.O. box, my answer to you and our recommendation based on our 30 plus years of research in this industry is to go with a regular address, not a P.O. box. Okay. A regular address. This could be your own house. This could be a virtual address. It could be anything, but not a P.O. box. And also one thing I need to say here is that you need to have a virtual address is an excellent solution to most problems that I just spoke to you about. Why? Because it has a real street address and displays a professional image of your business. You can receive packages from any courier. You can use it to register for LLCs and corporations. As a business owner, you can use a virtual business address to open bank accounts for LLCs. You don't have to change it when you change the location when you conduct your business, where you conduct your business, okay? It protects your privacy and no one knows your home address. A virtual mailbox is a great time saver. The mailbox service can be customizable according to your own needs. So this is really good. Before I close to this conversation, let me give you a small review here, okay? Let's just quickly talk about the best virtual business addresses with the registered agent service. And we do have an entire show that is actually dedicated to this subject, but I want to quickly go through it here so you have a clear idea about the service, about the topic itself. So you have InkFile. So InkFile has been in business for over a decade, and they offer the lowest cost of LLC, C Corp, and S Corp, and nonprofit incorporation services. Okay, and they also offer virtual business addresses. You also have a Northwest registered agent, and they are this company is a high-rated U.S. virtual address and a virtual office service provider. Fantastic. They also offer registered agent services. You have My Company Works. So My Company Works was actually founded about 20 years ago, and they do a lot of great things, including virtual addresses. They also do LLC formation. You have here Alliance Virtual Offices. It's another great player. So they are a virtual address and virtual office address service provider, and they are in more than 40 countries. Fantastic. Okay. And also iPostal One. So iPostal One is one of the leading names in digital mailbox technology. And so they actually started back in 2007. And for the last 15 to 20 years, they've been doing fantastic work. You also have a post-scan mail, okay? And so if you're looking for a virtual address for your LLC, post-scan mail can take care of you. They also offer virtual mailbox services. Fantastic. Their customer service is just fantastic. So overall, what I want to say here is that all those players are really great when it comes to having virtual business addresses for your LLC. On top of that, they also offer the registered agent services, which is really great because, as you know, if you have an LLC, you need to comply with state regulations, and you need to have a registered agent who will take care of who will actually handle all your correspondence with state authorities. Now, you don't have to hire somebody to be your registered agent. You can do it yourself, but it's just a lot more convenient, and it looks a lot more professional to really kind of outsource this part of the job, this part of LLC management to a third party, aka a registered agent service. Thank you so much for your attention to this conversation. I will just quickly explain to you how to get a virtual address for your LLC. So I give you the overview about this topic, the steps you need to take, the approach you need to think about, the bonus, okay? And I also explain a few pro tips to you. And in the end, I just did a quick review about the best virtual business addresses with registered agent services. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.